Warmdown Pod with Jose and Saucy.
The Warmdown Pod is brought to you by SW Strategies and Fight Zone and is recorded at 24A and Siang Road. Trigger warning, this recording may include harsh words, and we apologize in advance if you are offended.
Well, hello, Sasi, and welcome back to another episode of the Warmdown Pod. And yes, today, as you can see, I'm wearing yellow.
Mighty yellow.
No, this is not a Tampines Rovers jersey, but yes, we are going to be talking about Tampines Rovers. Tampines Rovers has got exclusive discussion rights for this podcast, for this episode, and rightfully so because they are in the news and they deserve it.
I think the yellow is gorgeous, man. Gorgeous on you. Gorgeous on journalist shows.
What's going on? What's happening on your end of woods?
My end is good, man. I'm really enjoying the football. We are coming to the tail end of SPL. We are coming to the tail end of the Premier League. Champions League is now in semi-finals. I mean, for me, it's work, football, all going great.
Yeah, there's been, Liverpool is out of the Champions League. They went further than Manchester United, so
At the end of the day,
English football fans will only be hoping on Arsenal,
yes.
right?
I mean, to me personally, Arsenal, it really depends on this weekend, right? With how they go against Man City.
Then
Yeah.
let's talk about what's been happening in Singapore. I came dressed for this today, as you can tell.
Especially your Tampines.
So let me quickly give our listeners the context about what we're going to be discussing today at length. Tampines Rovers. Okay, this is a club with a storied history.
Yeah.
After all. Okay,
One of our best loved clubs, I think.
with a strong following, in the eastern part of Singapore. When in the 2000s, when I was covering the S.League as it was before as a journalist, the stadium used to be packed out.
Yeah.
We had a chairman of the club, Teo Hock Seng, who was, who really put in money to build a club, brought the best players. It was a club at one point which had
Incredible passion. I think the passion overflows then.
you had Noah Shah, you had at the start of the S.League, Ribat Menardi, B. Oktan, you had Noah Shah, you had Perez de Oliveira, you had Santi, you had, Isuk Songki, you had, Alexander Jewish. What a team!
Amazing
Right.
team.
They were the cup specialists,
Yeah. They were always in contention. Whether it is cup or league, Yeah.
and the chairman itself, Teo Hock Seng, had a character. We used to call him Teo Hock Stack because coaches come, coaches go. But never in his history has he had 5 coaches in a single season.
Is that some kind of record? I mean, it must be, I'm sure it's the most I've ever seen in the SPL.
In Singapore for sure. You had Abban Awas,
Uh-huh.
and then he won the charity community shield,
Yeah.
and then he was gone. And then you had Noraman.
Yes.
Noraman came in, and then suddenly he was gone. But he was then hired by FAS to be part of Getaway's setup.
Yeah.
And then you had Robert Zakia.
Mm.
And then while Robert was the head coach, we had Kinoshi was sitting in a stands and giving orders. And then obviously when Game Let's Go exposed with photographs that he was in the field of play,
Yeah.
even though his name was not in the registered name on the team sheet and on investigation. But as it was ongoing, he was named as the coach.
Brilliant, right?
Within 12 days, he's out, and now you've got William Pan who's the coach.
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
He just left, right? What happened to
As of now, he's just been said. It's just been announced that he's out, and William Pan is taken away. And that Kinoshi left because of family reasons. When he was volunteering, when he said he was volunteering,
Yeah, I didn't say that.
there were no family problems, no issues. But now he's got family issues, and he ran off after 12 days. And he runs off in the mid. Sorry, I'm gonna use the word Yes, let's just see, he ran off in the midst of a Ministry of Manpower probe into whether or not are we working in Singapore without a work permit.
I'm pretty sure the family problems are largely caused by this probe, but at the end of the day, the probe was going on. It was a probe. I mean, you're exposed to it. You rolled him directly under the bus for being in the staff area, field play, right? He was giving instructions. Is Robert still there?
Honestly, I've not even seen Robert. Whether or not it's in a field of play or only the other day they had a match against Balestia. I don't.
I've never seen this club in such a mess, honestly. I mean, it always gave me a lot of highs watching SPL. I had my favorite foreign player there as well.
Who was that?
Jordan.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what is the it was really sad that there's only, it looks to be like only one club which was able or is currently able to try and challenge the Lion City Sailors at the top, and it's Tampines. And during Desmond On's championship, Tampines was there or thereabouts.
Yeah.
Right. Tampines is always challenging at the top. I mean, at the time after Home United became Lion City Sailors, they were on a different level.
Yeah.
And they were on a different level and a different stress here, but Tampines Rovers has always been there or thereabouts.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I gotta give it to them. This season they're still thereabouts.
Yeah.
I mean, 5 coaches still thereabouts.
Right. So, but this issue,
Mm-hmm.
I really sympathize with the players.
Yeah.
Right? Because I mean, here's the deal. When Robert was the head coach, but Kiyoshi was allegedly sitting in the stands and directing and providing the inputs and also conducting training sessions.
Yeah.
And there's evidence to show that he was conducting training sessions, even though he was not on the work permit, right? There was really unhappiness. Players were unhappy because if you're close to the seat, players will be talking that this don't know what monsters going on. Fans were booing. Fans were booing the team, which is also unprecedented. I mean, your team is second, but you're getting booed.
Yeah.
That just sort of thing is wrong.
Yeah.
And there's this match, the one where Kinoshi lost to Albrechts 3-2.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this is the word on the ground was that it was going to happen. Okay, it was going to happen. Okay, and because not because of anything else, because there was an air of unhappiness coming through from the club. Because who was in charge? Is it Robert? Kinoshi? Right? Fans were upset, and players, in the dressing rooms, they always talk about, oh, this is my last season. There was a lot of that.
Oh.
A lot of players in the team. I'll just give you my last season. And not only that, players were already beginning to look out for other clubs. In fact, they were calling other coaches, asking for whether or not there's any place in the plans for next year.
Yeah.
Right? All of that was happening. Now, who do we blame? I'll tell you who I blame. My blame always goes towards the leadership.
Yeah.
The leader. And that could be Shugom Sakarabdo, the current champion.
Uh-huh.
He has allowed this to happen. He has allowed the club to be dragged down through the mud.
Okay.
And why? Ultimately, it's not the player's fault that the leadership is making this kind of decision. It's not the player's fault. It's the leadership who is making this kind of changes to the team in the course of one season. It's not even the players. The players just trying to play, right?
And I think the players are still playing well. The last game was my game of the season, I think. The Eastern Derby.
Oh, that was a great game. I saw it a great game. An awesome game. It was so topsy-turvy and right last second, right? And I really thought they were going to be their second loss in a row. Right?
Yes.
Right.
You go there, win, and then you left.
Yeah, but what's the issue right now is, don't forget that the club was also fined by the FAS. Fined $2,000 for the fact that they allowed this player, they allowed Kinoshi to be in the field of play without being registered or without a formal registration. My question actually would be, what else did the FAS do thereafter?
Yeah.
Did they file that complaint with the MOM about this? or the allegation that this guy was actually operating possibly without a work permit, did the FAS not?
But there was a MO investigation.
The MO investigation came about as a consequence, not as a consequence of the FAS investigation. So the question should be, did the FAS inform MOM that this is allegation?
Did they?
Why? Why did they not do it?
Yeah.
And they have a duty to explain, right? They have a duty to explain why they did not actually inform MOM about it. So it's not really ideal, and especially for a club which is receiving subsidies from the FAS to be operating this way. You don't treat the club as if it's your private toy or your old club.
Somebody else posted about that.
Yeah, so that's posted by the Admirex or Future Asset General Chairman Naga, who actually posted it, right, and said, don't treat the club like it's your toy. So when somebody like Ori Naga actually says that, it's very telling. Admirex, okay, could it be Future Asset General? Have been operating since 2003. They know what it means to connect with the community. This connection with the community is critical. Like WRX does a lot, right? You can see them being community projects. You can see they're working with the member parliament.
I think they're one of the best run clubs, honestly.
And Tampines Rovers, when Teo Singh was the chairman, the former MP Mr. Marble, he used to come for matches. He would come in for matches. He will sit and watch the games. Not every single game, but when he can, he actually comes and watches the match. Sometimes when it turns out they lose, then we joke with him and he was saying, you should have done, we used to have the kind of disturb him all the time, right? But he takes an interest because the stadiums are usually full. The MP takes an interest in the club. The chairman takes an interest in the club. The chairman is there all the time, most of the time. His wife is there most of the time, previously, right? And he brings his team from Komoko to support. He puts in a lot of effort, a lot of heart into making sure that the club is well run and the club is looking after the players are happy, right? That's the kind of club Tampines Rovers was.
Yeah.
Okay. You had fairly peaceful time under Desmond Ong as a chairman because Desmond was also trying to clear a lot of the mess, in the club prior to him taking over. Not caused by Mr. Joe saying, but thereafter there were some issues which which I should not go into details, but there was a stability that he was building up Tampines Rovers with Gavin, Gavin's style of play, and
I think in the past, since Gavin came on and Desmond was there, the club was stabilizing.
Having a San Evo use ESSL, BG Batum.
I think it was really,
So
just for my point, from the layperson's soccer fan, right? How did this transition happen from Desmond to this new chairman? Can you explain?
So from what I gathered, Shungo Sakamoto used to be in the leadership team under Desmond, right? And I think Desmond wanted to exit. Because he wanted to, obviously, he was going to be in FS in the leadership. And I think he really wanted to at least focus on something, right? So he handed it over, or suggested to be handed over to someone whom he thought in his team was best poised to take over, right? Sometimes shit hits the fan.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll never realize, what could happen down the line, right? And unfortunately, Shungo, as a chairman, has brought in a sporting director, Tadanari Lee, and
There were some scandals behind that.
that's again, there's a lot of murkiness right now,
Yeah.
which seems to be emanating from the club, right? And here's the thing: we are not the only ones who are discussing it. Everywhere you look at it, you look at online X, Twitter, Facebook, social media in the last couple of weeks, ever since there's these issues involving Tampines Rovers, journalists, commentators, fans have essentially been going after the club. But when you have your entire community coming after you, what should you do? Step down, because it's obvious that you've not taken the club to where it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Don't be like Bernard Tan.
Sorry, I got to take a break to laugh. My God, did you set me up for that? But
Okay, yeah, but the scenario is I don't think any stepping down is going to happen because they are second in the league, and they're gonna try and push through somehow. They recorded another win, right?
They recorded a win against Balestier.
Let's say yes.
I watched that game.
Yeah. The sad thing is they got a good bunch of foreigners this year. And when I first saw Anbanawas took the charity shield, right, I thought, wow, some of the players were brilliant. My God.
I think it's great.
Buhatia was great.
I think he's been a revelation, right?
Yeah.
But for some reason, Kinoshi, for some reason, kept substituting him.
Yeah.
But anyway, yesterday, I think in the game against Palestine, I think he played the full
Mm.
match, if I recall, or at least almost the full match.
So the players are suffering, right? I'm sure the foreigners are, I'm sure I saw a post where players were training in cliques as well, right?
Yeah.
This is a club that Singaporean fans, Tampines has been so long in Tampines, when I lived in Yishun, my happiest moment was when I got a season ticket to Sembawang Rangers, right? Walk to the stadium, whole community is there. It is a community. You're letting people down.
Yeah.
You're letting the normal layperson down. You're letting that boys that play in the SYL, the U13, U15, U17, you are letting all of these boys down.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
When a club is not properly run.
And they are accepting and receiving subsidies, to the tune of $1 million from the Football Association to run the club. I think there must be some levels of transparency and accountability. Right?
Yeah.
If you want to treat it as like your own private limited or your private toy, then you run it on your own money.
Yeah.
And don't treat the club like as though it's yours to play and to organize and not just that, but to disrupt and to make fans turn against you, because then, it's not a good sign.
Yeah.
Because it's also there's a revolt and there's a fan revolt against you, against a club.
Yeah.
What are you playing for if not for your fans?
No, but I guess when someone comes in new like that and all these things happen, then priority is obviously not the fans anymore, right? I mean, it's if Kinoshi was giving instructions from the stands. We all saw that. We all saw him standing in the stands, and then you're also undermining the manager you have. That was, to me, that was one of the worst things that you could do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, it's not exactly in the best state right now. So I really hope, Tampines Rovers, if the tournament is listening to this, they should really look in the mirror and really tell the fans or the public what they're going to do moving forward. Because, you've got 5 coaches, 5 managers in a season. It's probably unprecedented. Create a history for all the wrong reasons.
If they're going to finish the season with this current manager, I also don't know that.
No, but hang on. Don't forget,
Yeah.
MOM investigation is still ongoing. That could also mean if they're found guilty. If they're found guilty, right? They will not be able to sign foreign players the next season.
Oh, jeez.
Yes. They could actually be banned from signing foreign players. Basically foreign employees for the next season or for a period of time. That's how serious this is, right? And here's the thing. There were so many ways in which this could have been probed, right? Because if we are using this, because Kinoshi said that he was a volunteer, right? MOM could have asked for his bank statements as evidence to see whether there was any payments being made. MOM could have asked the club to surrender all their payment documents from the banks to investigate. MOM could have done all of that. And I think they still can, right? In fact, it is within the rights and jurisdiction to do so. In fact, I think they should really continue the investigation, even though Kinoshi may not be around, right? This is serious.
Yeah.
Okay, the fact that we're going on and using an entire episode to talk about it is serious, because it's terrible. It's terrible that a club of Tampines' stature do something like this. It's shocking. If Hougang was going to field a player without getting employment pass, that's Hougang, because you know what? That's a different kettle of fish altogether. Hougang is not Tampines Rovers. Tampines Rovers is Tampines Rovers. Tampines Rovers is, I would say, a gold star club in Singapore.
I completely agree with you.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's shocking. But anyway, so we hope they get the message. And this other incident, this other piece of information, which we shall talk about for a bit, is about the signing of Kai Whitmore to the Young Lions. So, what do you think?
What do I think? Okay. Kai Whitmore comes from Newport, right? Was it Newport?
Yes.
Newport is in the equivalent of the fourth tier league in
Correct.
England,
League Two.
right? League Two, which is so you got the Premier League, you got the Championship, you got League One, and then you got League Two, right? So first thing I did was, how did he get released from the club? So I went to Google, right? And then it said left on mutual consent. Unless the agreement was already made with Singapore then. He has always expressed interest, right? I've never seen him play, right?
Yep.
I'm curious to see how he plays,
Yep.
right? And if this is a reaction to us qualifying for the AFC Cup, and if he's going to be naturalized, I don't know whether they can do it that fast. I've never seen anything happen that fast before, right?
Yep.
To me, my honest opinion is we got to use the AFC qualification as a tool to let Singaporeans love football again. To me, that's my stance, right? Whether somebody's going to lose their place, largely to me, it depends on how he plays for the Young Lions. Does he have the caliber? So if he's in Young Lions now, and he has to obviously be way and above the players we have for him to be included in the squad.
Yeah.
Because if he's not way and above the players we have,
Yeah.
right? Because I think there was another player that was naturalized before that used to play in the same league, League Two. Was it John Wilkinson? That was.
I think Daniel Bennett, John Wilkinson. I can't remember whether John Wilkinson actually came from the League Two. But in the past, when the SPL S.League first started, or at least in the 2000s, right, there were a couple of players in England from the from the League Two, or even in fact even if I'm not wrong, the League One, who came to Singapore to play. But they were cut above the rest.
Yeah.
Right. But I mean, we spoke about whether or not this is actually one way for Singapore to prepare for the Asian Cup, right?
Yeah.
But you know something, and here's where I feel very strongly, right, that should we have a national team whom we don't
Don't identify
or recognize for the Asian Cup? Because what good is it going to do for us, right? What good is it going to do for us when it's a Latin nine? Or like, I mean, I watched the Asia Champions League Elite.
Yeah, I did too.
JDT
I know what you're gonna say.
and Al Ahly Saudi, right?
Yeah.
I didn't see a single Malay.
I know, man.
Right?
JDT.
But they're all Malaysians. I mean, whoever in there were Malaysians. But I see the JDT fans accepted it because I saw a lot of fans made their way to Saudi for that match, right? Maybe it's my perspective that we should have a national team where we.
No, I completely agree. We wanna.
To be fair, Song Ui-yong, Kyoga Nakamura, we've embraced them.
Yeah.
Right? They've been in Singapore for so many years.
Yes.
They're part of our league. They grew with us. We kind of watched them play.
Yeah.
Heard their names so many times. Right? FS has also have been trying to naturalize Perry Ng. Right?
Yeah.
And at some point, maybe it is going to happen.
Yeah.
Because they've been like hyping about it for the last 2 or 3 years or whatever. And so then we really have, but we haven't seen Perry Ng play. But Perry he's a different pedigree altogether, right? So we're going to have a national team which could make up a Perry. You got Kyoga, you got Song Young, and then you got, let's just for argument's sake, say Kai Whitmore. Has only half the team. But I want to see my Raihan Stewart. I want to see Safwan Baharudin. I want to have that, players whom sound like as though they are Singaporean.
Yeah.
Be part of the team when we cheer for them. Or else, that's the point.
To me, I think we are going to the AFC Cup. All right. I want to have a team we recognize, honestly, right? But I think we want to show up a bit, and to me, with Song and with Kyoga, we have midfielders, local midfielders coming in, replacing them, and playing as well. I think now with Gavin, right? I absolutely love it.
Who are you for?
I think Hamish is it? Yeah.
Hami himself isn't really your first 11 now, right?
Yeah, he's not first 11, but I thought he was great when he played. Obviously Shawal, when he comes on, he was suspended for the last game, and obviously we got Ilhan Iksan. You know, um, to me, I think we got a strong local squad. I think if we can show up a bit wherever Gavin needs. I mean, to me, right now he brought us there. Gavin is the man, so if he needs to, if he thinks that this players are not ready, right? Don't.
No, but point is this: the Young Lions, it is in the league to allow young players, young Singapore players,
Yeah.
the opportunities to play, they to be prepared for games like SEA games, all that, right? You get a chance to play, you get opportunities to be able to play together and to get the playing time.
I don't see that happening, but he must be here for a reason, right? He must be here for a reason. He's young lions. To me, if he left the club by mutual consent in February, he's cleaning up his life in England. This side already, some parts would have opened for him in Singapore. So somebody would have said, "You're gonna come play for the airlines. Show us what you can do, and maybe you're in the national team." Somebody would have said something. Oh my god!
You know what? So I think there are a few points here, right? Age, is going to be able to be a good fit.
Yeah.
What's the point of bringing the Young Lions when the objective for the Young Lions is now being lost?
Yeah.
And whether or not we will be, I mean, if they're rushing naturalization in time for the Asian Cup, how does that leave Singapore fans who don't even identify with this person? Right? I mean, should we have a team whom we are able to identify with and actually rise and cheer for?
I actually agree that we want to go. We want to look at the Asian Cup. We want to cheer our boys on media. That we want to cheer that Safwan, that Harris. You know,
We want to see exactly. We want to see. We want our players to also have an opportunity to raise their careers, be able to get identified by scouts, we take in other parts of the world. That's exactly what the best of the team.
I'm really invested. I really see Iksan based on my house. I want to see Ilan play.
We want to create, we want to make sure our voice, our teammate, our team players, like the Stewart brothers, who get opportunities to play so that they get spot medals. So, I mean, their families have sacrificed. They have sacrificed. Anyway, such as UK events in the world of fitness.
World of Fitness. I mean, one of the things I want to talk about today is nutrition, right? Recently, when you have elderly parents and they start having a client that came in and she was telling me that her dad just went vegetarian because he's diabetic now. He wants to control his. One of the things you gotta, when you watch your diet, right, you gotta make sure you have enough protein, right? The food you eat has to give you nutrition. The more people we see coming into Fight Zone, and then we do the body analysis, and a lot of people are working up. They don't build muscle because there's lack of protein, right? Or what your body eats. At the end of the day, if we take it as 1 gram of protein per kilo of your body, right? So that means if you weigh 80 kilos, you got to take 80 grams of protein. And when we watch people's diets right now with the body transformation program that we have going, everybody tells, "Oh, I'm having enough protein. I'm having enough protein." One piece of chicken sometimes not even 15 grams of protein. And if you have that 100 grams, if you want to build muscle, you got to look at 1.5 times your weight or 2 times your weight, right? So you got 80 kilos, you got to eat 120 grams of protein or 160 grams of protein. So if you're not even reaching 80, you know what the body's going to do? Your body is going to stop gaining muscle. Your body is going to keep the fat, right? And your body is going to lower your BAR. Your body is going to lower it, right? Because you're working out so hard. I've seen so many people that are coming class after class. They lose weight. They don't lose fat. They just become a smaller version of themselves, right? And when they ask you, "Oh, why am I not losing fat?" It's basically they don't get their diet right. It's this all started because the client told me the father's going vegetarian, and I told her, you know what? Whenever they go vegetarian, they go to a vegetarian stall, they get everything else, right? And there's barely 15, 20 grams of protein on the plate. And if you have 15 to 20 grams of protein on the plate, how are you going to hit your quota for the day? No way, right? All that carbs is going to insulin build further, spike your blood sugar further. So nutrition is very, very important. If you're not sure, right? There's this misconception that if I go vegetarian, vegetarian food is also fried, right? It also comes with all the calories, right? Then find out. You know, there's so many ways right now where you can find out ChatGPT gives you a whole meal plan, right? Find out what you should eat. And for especially ladies, you know, please don't discount your protein. Right. Because I see so many ladies come in, they watch their diets, they watch their calories, and then when you count the nutritional levels, they barely have 40 grams of protein. And I tell them, you're not gonna see when your muscle has shape, fat just hangs there and shakes off. Right? So if you want to get to you're gonna build muscle. You will never build so much muscle you look like a bodybuilder. Right? Toners come from having muscles, right? And to feed the muscle, you need to feed yourself protein, right? Because this conception in fitness is that, right? Eating clean means eating less. No, you have to feed your body. That means you got to eat the right kind of nutrition, right? So if you're not eating enough, your body's not gonna build muscle at all. Yeah, that's. I just wanted to get it out there and actually talk about this scenario where people kind of like starve themselves because they want to lose weight, right? Yeah.
Let's say food for thought. And
Yeah.
also on that note, let's remind our listeners to eat properly, exercise well, live happy, and and we will we will get back to them again in the next episode. It's gonna be our Asian Cup.
Yeah, please tune in. Please like, share, and please also look at the Federal side. I'll see you again next week.
Yes, Sasi, and let's go.
Pod is brought to you by SW Strategies and Fight Zone. Tune in again next week for another episode.